前に聞いた話だ。
One of the reasons that maybe Pikachu is so well liked and loved by many people is that, especially in the first games, it was a really rare Pokemon. It didn't appear very often, and it was really surprising to encounter it. It was a really cute Pokemon that just was extremely rare, so if you saw it, you were really happy to encounter it. And obviously another big reason is that in the animation series, obviously Ash's partner is Pikachu. So people would watch the animation and it would be a rare Pokemon in the game, so kind of a Pokemon that everyone wants to, have at their side and go on a journey with. At the beginning, when we first released the games, no one knew what Pokemon was. And in Japan, it just kind of grew via word of mouth. The sales they came in slowly at the beginning. And in the US, the animation was shown first, and then the games were released. And after that, kind of the same word of mouth type thing, the popularity grew gradually over time. But every time, obviously, we make a new game, we always have the worry that maybe this time it won't do as well as before. So yes, obviously in the beginning, a lot of Japanese role-playing games, before the Pokemon games came out, and around that time, weren't very successful overseas. They didn't really find an audience and weren't doing very well. And there was some worry about whether maybe the characters, the Pokemon like Pikachu, were maybe a little bit too cute for the Western audiences. But he thinks one of the reasons for the success of the series is maybe because that they didn't change it. They left it the same as they did in Japan and released it just that way in the Western market. One of the reasons for making it turn-based as it is because they wanted to make it a battle system that people who aren't so great at maybe like action games can play the games, do well in the battles. That gives them time to think and choose their actions. From here on out, there are obviously going to be evolutions to the battle system, but it's probably not going to ever become some kind of really action-packed, fast-paced thing. These, virtual worlds where players can meet and they don't have to be in the same place. They can, play with each other from, faraway locations. While those type of games have interesting elements, the Pokemon series is really all about playing with other people, communicating with other people, kind of in the same space. So a lot of the functions of the black version and white version were added to help out with communication features with people nearby you. For example, one of the things like the rhythm check lets you kind of communicate with other players in the same area. Probably in the future, maybe not a full online thing, but definitely more functionality to help communication with players nearby. So when first making Red and Blue, they really wanted to make a game that was kind of accessible for anyone. Maybe people who are their first time playing a game, or their first time playing the Pokemon series, obviously with the first games. But also at the same time to have a lot of depth to the gameplay, something you can play for a very long time. For newer players, they can pick it up and anyone can play it. But once they start playing it for a long time and discover some of the depth there, they can find a whole new level of fun there. And the more hardcore players, the more core players who know a lot about the depth of the battle system can kind of communicate with the newer players, teach them the various aspects of the battle system, and that there's a lot of communication that's born from there. To answer the first question, yes, he does know about the way to get Mew. Actually, an interesting story is that his email address back then, his cell phone email address back then, was really easy to kind of understand, and he got an email from like a middle school student saying that, "I know how to get Mew in the game," and he was like, "Oh, wow." Other than that, obviously he enjoys those kind of weird, quirky parts of games. Like for example, in Mario, you can get the infinite one-ups, certain tricks like that, and that's one way to enjoy games. So he encourages people to try and find interesting, quirky things about games.